Welcome to the Free Black Girl Podcast. This is a space for joyful healing, learning, and collective liberation. My name is Najma Ahmed, and you are listening to a series of mini podcast episodes called Lessons from Liberation. I shared in my first season of the podcast all the ways in which I got free from unhealed trauma, people pleasing, and really from any person, place, or thing causing me to betray myself. Now, these lessons from liberation are based on what I learned last year after asking myself, now what? I started a blog and during that time called The Freedom Pages, and I'm sharing what I reflected on in real time. Last week, we talked about quantum leaping after the surrender. After you take this leap and you're in a new space and you're looking around, it's a time where you can feel alone. You may feel isolated. You may even feel unsafe. You want to look at a map and you need some kind of direction to figure out where to go next. But this week's reflection comes from my blog post called The Game of Life. It's about understanding that the answer was never meant to come from a map. Let's jump into the lesson. Many days it feels like we are living in an elaborate video game, one where our higher self picks the mission before we even got started. From that moment we take our first breath, we begin the journey of remembering what that mission is. What it is we are here to do, and our destiny unfolds as we move through the game. We can have multiple destiny timelines depending on the choices we make along the way. We get to experience the joy of being alive. We get to customize our avatar with hairstyles and tattoos and various outfits and adornments. Now, as we play this game, the objective is to interact with others so we can learn from them, work together, play together, and learn what love is, along with the full spectrum of human emotion. We learn lessons about ourselves. We experience traumas and pitfalls that can seem to set us back in the moment, but as long as we have more life, the game isn't over. We don't enter the game at a brand new starting point, but at a place where all of our ancestors have played before us. And now it's our turn. Remember when you used to play Super Mario with your siblings or your cousins or your friends, and you would play it in 2-player mode? One of you, if you lost your life, they'd still be there, right, in the room with you and even in the game, kind of like a shadow, kind of like the ghost of Luigi just hanging out, watching as your cousin or your sibling play. And sometimes you'd share what you learned, right, what pitfalls you encountered that got you out of the game early. Or maybe if you beat the level and could guide your friends so they could experience something that you didn't get to see when you played. Our ancestors walk with us as we play this game they already played. We meet the oracles along the way. We try the magic mushrooms. We explore and we encounter other guides at the end of side quests. But often we get stuck in the menu, trying to look at the map and see the end of the game. But you can't. Because the map only illuminates as you play. You have to get out of the menu to earn experience points, and then you can come back and upgrade to be better equipped for the next level. Sometimes we get stuck because we feel like we don't know enough on how to keep going. We don't trust our ability to figure it out or allow it to come to us. We meet the big boss on that level and we remember all of the things we've learned along the journey that have prepared us for that moment. We do it over and over again. Sometimes it feels like a loop, but it's actually a spiral. We're spiraling upwards. Each level is a chance to use our skills in a different way, and we get better and better. And with this understanding, I can continue on in this game with a new level of awareness that will allow me to move more adeptly, more intentionally, more boldly, more courageously, knowing that I am guided, I am protected. I trust the map even if I can't see it. I am attached to no one and nothing because I have everything that I already need at each level to continue learning, growing, and most importantly, playing, loving, and living in this beautiful game of life. I want you to sit with these and journal. Sit with these questions and journal. What examples do you have in your lineage of your ancestors' courage and bravery? If you do not know these stories, who can you ask to find out? I want you to say that ancestor's name. Get their photo or something that reminds you of them and thank them for their example. Ask them to be with you now. Tell them what you're afraid of. What would you try if you knew you couldn't fail? How do you define failure? Is it failure if you learn and still move forward? What permission are you waiting on to set out on your new journey? Where do you feel fear in your body when you think about being in this unknown world? In your stomach, in your heart, a racing mind? I want to offer you this method called the RAIN method. I learned it from Tara Brach to bring yourself back into balance, to listen to what you need in those moments of fear. The RAIN method, the R stands for recognize. Acknowledge your current thoughts, feelings, and body sensations without judgment. You sit and you feel what's happening in your body. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling afraid. Instead of telling yourself not to feel that way, the A in the RAIN method is you allow it. Let your experience be as it is, allowing feelings to exist without trying to change or suppress them. Oftentimes when we're feeling a certain kind of way, we tell ourselves not to feel that way. And what you're doing is you're gaslighting your inner child to not have those experiences. Like when you maybe were growing up and crying and people told you to stop all that crying before they give you something to cry about. And it's like, well, I already got something to cry about. That's why I'm crying. But we as adults then tell ourselves not to feel those feelings. So allow it. Let yourself feel whatever it is that you're feeling. And then the I in the RAIN method is investigate. Explore your experience with curiosity, asking questions about what you feel and why. The N in the RAIN method is nurturing. Offer yourself compassion and kindness in response to your feelings, treating yourself with the same care that you would offer a friend. Being that person and that protector for little you that you needed growing up, or perhaps that you had, in modeling that behavior. As I record this episode, we are in fearful times. I'm sitting in the wake of America now also enacting state murders upon white people again and again over the last couple of weeks. So much of what's happening is already familiar to Black people and known to Black people and brown people and poor people, but specifically Black people at a cellular level. Are seeing people who look like us murdered in fields, in the streets, on TV, and now over the internet for centuries. This may be unprecedented for many, but our blood remembers. But as I think about our ancestors who are with us now and what they have learned when they were in this game of life and what they want us to know now, They want us to stop being afraid of connecting with them. Our ancestors, they want us to be in relation with them. They want us to learn and remember our history so that they can guide us right now. Because the ones enacting the fear and the terror, they remember their history and they're repeating it over and over and over again. Our ancestors want us to continue the work that they were doing, to do the things that they were never able to do. And if you don't know how to connect with your ancestors, listen to my episode from my first season, episode 5, called Freed Spirit, I Feed Dead People. And it's all about how I learned to actively work with my ancestors and decolonizing my spirituality. I also highly recommend checking out this book. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I'm holding up a book. It is called The Ancestor Connection by Jade Isikiwe. Her last name is spelled Asikiwe. Again, the book is called The Ancestor Connection. Discover how to connect with your spirit guides, ancient ancestors, and your genealogical heritage. This book literally changed my life. I tell so many people about it. I read it about 2.5 years ago, and it allowed me to form a relationship with my ancestors that has been transformative in ways that I can't even begin to articulate. The back of the book says, all of us have blood and spirit ancestors, and we must keep reminding ourselves of an important truth, and that is that our lives rest firmly and strongly on the sacrifices they made for us. They are closer to us than we think. They are a limitless source of guidance, healing, and companionship when we connect with them consciously and respectfully. When I think about the movements of the past, they collapsed because of the terror, white supremacy, violence that acted upon the bodies of Black people since we were brought here, stolen to this country. That trauma doesn't just go away. That trauma has been passed down from generation to generation. The way that they've been able to collapse movements is to exploit that trauma, whether through COINTELPRO and mistrust and misinformation and systemically manufactured scarcity, or through flooding our communities with drugs to numb the pain of centuries of torture, physical and psychological warfare that disconnects us from our bodies, so we're not able to tap into the power that they very well know exists. I didn't know for sure what was coming when I started my podcast and platform 1.5 years ago. But I heard my ancestors say to me, it's freedom time. It's freedom time. It's freedom time. Over and over, I heard that in my head. Every client that I have, as I'm a liberation coach, every Black woman that I work with is talking about liberation and how they've gotten this message, this feeling to heal and pursue a liberated life and help others to do the same in some way. This is not coming from nowhere. It's not a coincidence that we're all getting this message right now, but it requires us to get out of the menu, to stop being paralyzed by fear, and to get into the game. Get into the arena. Get into the arena like you know you have the strength of 10,000 ancestors behind you, because you do. You didn't just get dropped down here on a random plot on a timeline. You are the continuation of a story that is bigger than you. We are being called because we are the ones we've been waiting for. As Audre Lorde said, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. Do it scared, do it messy, do it unsure, just do it. Thank you for joining. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Leave me a comment and a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I really hope these lessons from liberation help you to grow, as you being with me in community helps me to grow. And as always, I want this to be a conversation. So leave me a comment. What ancestor are you giving gratitude to in remembrance of their courage?